you need to do better?
Now, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, world. I would like to say that in life, we're never ready. We don't know the next step. We don't know, we only count our achievements, but not achievements of the world. Because we only know the birthday, we don't know the death day. So I think I have done what I call enough to me. And the world there would be thinking otherwise. But I have prepared myself psychologically, physically, and I'm ready for the D-Day, 20th, when people will vote Daniel Kazube Ragadi as the Lord Mayor of Kampala.
20th is next week on Wednesday.
Yes.
Is that so?
Yes.
Okay. You've gone through this election before.
Yes.
And what lessons you draw from the past election that you're actually putting right in this particular election where you are?
Well, in the past election, it was my first experience. Secondly, there was a lot of stereotyping where people start to think, oh, an artist becoming a Lord Mayor, how come? But I learned a lot, and I've been preaching the real gospel of Kampala politics. People say they suffer a lot in Kampala, but they vote the same people over and over. The opposition has been taking over Kampala for the last 25 years. Lord mayors, MPs, councillors. Now, right now, KCCA has only 3 councillors from NRM.
The ruling NRM.
Which means if there's a problem in Kampala, the problem must be on the leaders of Kampala. Because if you compare what is happening in Gulu, it is a new city, new market built. Lira, new city, new market. Soroti, new market. Kasese, new market. And then you don't have a market in Owino, and you don't have a market in Nakasero. It's a big problem. See, the market is the basis of the growth of the economy. Now, if you have a badly planned market, the farmers are going to lose where there's no parking, where they are overpaying the stalls, where the water is very expensive, where the garbage collection is a problem. So if you look at Nakasero market and you look at the roads to Nakasero market, no serious buyer would like to go to that market. But it needs to be constructed. Just like what they've done in Gulu can be done in Kampala. But because of leadership, that's why the problem comes in. So I would like to be the Lord Mayor of Kampala who understands that if there is a market and it's well done, you'll get few batembe on the road. If we know that there is a good market, the good farmers will bring in their produce, and the stall owners will sell and then earn a profit. So why Kampala is crying today? Because of leadership. If you don't have good markets, if you don't have a good organization in transport system, people won't get the money.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the National Resistance Movement, the ruling party,
yes,
has had a lot of problems penetrating and winning a vote in Kampala.
Yes.
They've got some support at all levels. Presidential, where maybe another candidate wins and President Museveni comes in second, but of course with some sizable number of votes. But when it comes to leadership, as you're saying, the city is predominantly
yes,
taken over by the opposition.
Yes.
And just look at this particular election round. What do you think is going to be that fundamental, that a game changer,
yes,
that the tides will actually change from an opposition Lord Mayor,
yes,
maybe from opposition councillors,
yes,
to the ruling NRM? What do you think is that riding factor that you are actually going to use to change the game to be able to get there? Because you may find yourself getting to the city hall as a Lord Mayor,
yes,
from the NRM, and you have a council that is again filled with only the opposition. Elias Lukwago had that problem when he first came to the council, where he was the mayor and he had the majority as NRM.
Yes.
And in 1, 2, 3 times he was impeached and sent away. So what do you think the NRM needs to use as a game changer to actually take over Kampala?
First of all, is when people start talking about parties. I don't think Uganda has grown to understand parties, multi-partyism, because people think parties more than deliverance, like more than the service. if people have been served in the wrong way for the last 20 years or so, and you say, oh, what is the problem? Garbage, drainage, transport, traffic. That means there's a problem in leadership. And if the Ugandans have been in lockdown for the last 10 months, they have learned a lot. They have learned that they have been charged in markets. The water is expensive. They have learned that it is very difficult to survive in Kampala and store or save something. People have learned that leadership has not helped them. When it came to giving out food, the leaders did not wake up to help the people, the natives, the Kampalans. What happened is, after COVID, in the new normal, people are trying to learn, people are trying to get the reality of how many toilets, public toilets does Kampala have. Then, who delayed them? How many streets are supposed to be worked on? You see, every time you're free and you're not in serious business, when people stayed in their houses, they learned that Kampala has so many wounds that need to be healed. First of all, when people say they are helping, I call this service. They're not helping anyone. Service means, if it is garbage collection, areas like Machi, India, if you go and see how the garbage is collected from Navisalu Ghetto to Kabao to St. Augustine, I mean, it is a mess. If you go to Rubaga and you see the garbage in Kosovo, it became a garbage bank. Now it is going to become a garbage village. So the people who have been voting also sit down and think, okay, we've had councillors, we've had mayors, they talk about the garbage trucks, they talk about recycling, but nothing is happening. So we need to have a different kind of leadership that can deliver some service to us. So right now, when I look at the election, we are more than 11 people contending for one position. But it is up to the massives, it is up to the people who vote to decide. But you know what? I think, let me have a change. Over the years, Kampala has never been for Kampala. But one day, it will become a Kampala leadership, NRM leadership. Because what I'm thinking, if people have been given a chance, the Savannahs, the late Sebagala, Lukwago has been given 3 chances. First of all, he was an MP for Kampala. Then afterwards, he became a Lord Mayor, and now Lord Mayor. If things are not done, if it is as he says that, oh, you know what, I would have worked, but they're not giving me a chance, why does he come for the election again? That means for him, maybe he's earning something. But the people, you can see how many...
You're saying because if he says they fail me from delivering the services,
yes,
then why do you come back and the same people are still here with you to actually fail you?
Supposing a woman is divorced, the husband says, I've divorced you, and the woman is trying very much to come back, then that must be a problem. Are you getting my point? If you say, then that means there's something that you're not saying. Because right now, if we say garbage collection has failed in Kampala, you do not need to get a minister. When you have councillors, you have LCs, you have the divisional mayor, you have the Lord Mayor. If you say there's a problem in markets, how many markets are owned by KCCA? How many markets can be built? How many markets can be transformed to help people work? If you look at how many workers are arrested.
Mr. Kaziwe,
yes.
I want you to give me a picture of the real Kampala that you want to give to us.
Yes.
And the ideal Kampala.
Yes.
There is an ideal Kampala, and then there's also a real Kampala.
The practical.
The practical Kampala.
Yes.
Look at issues ranging from traffic jam,
yes,
the congestion in the city, sanitation,
yes,
youth unemployment, the squalid settlements in the areas that you've been talking about, the floods in Kampala. When it rains in Kampala, you are in studios here, it's raining, and you start imagining now, if I stay in Entebbe, how drive? Do I find a way to actually rotate around the city?
Yes.
Where do I go to be able to actually connect? There are lots of these issues which have been with us here, and well knowing that Kampala alone contributes up to about 60% of our revenue collections in this country. So when we talk about Kampala, we actually talk about the heart of all of us. You don't have to be in Kampala to feel what happens in Kampala.
Yes.
Because if I am in Tororo and I demand for a service in a government hospital in Tororo, the taxes collected in Kampala trickle to actually in Tororo where I am supposed to get the service. So I want you to give us that picture of the Kampala that you want to deliver to us, a Kampala that we can actually see and say, we will someday see a free Kampala where there is business flourishing and all the things, and not just deals.
Did you know that we do not need investors to collect garbage?
I didn't know.
Okay. Every household has its garbage. In the cities that are grown, in the cities in the first world, garbage is a business. Now, we have so many Nabgabo Abdil, we have Binit, we have everything that claim that they do business for garbage. Now, there's a budget that comes for garbage collection in KCCA. We do not need foreign intervention to collect our own garbage. That is one. If we created garbage banks in all the ghettos, and we collect all the garbage to go in one place, then after it is moved by the KCCA trucks, that will be a simple move. We don't need any research on that. It is simple. Garbage is garbage. And garbage can be changed into renewable energy. Like we can recycle the garbage to become cheap power for the Kampala groups, industrial, cottage industries. Now, that is one. Garbage has like three kinds of garbage. There's what they call the plastic garbage, which is the recycled garbage. And the agricultural after use garbage, like when people peel their matoke and put in the kavera, this is what has blocked the drainage, because they look around, no one is seeing
the matoke peels, the cassava peels, all these, the banana leaves.
Those are the agricultural products. They end up in the drainage. If you see Nachivo Mill channel, if you see Narisasiro channel, the Nalukolongo channel, is what happens is people throw the agricultural waste in the drainage. Now, if we get the youth in the 5 divisions and we create a garbage bank and we zone garbage cleaning, we say every 10 houses we have 1 youth or a group of people that are making sure that every Wednesday garbage is collected, but we move it to the garbage bank where the truck will come and take everything. Then we'll know that Kampala is going to be clean, because there is a person given a zone, is given a range of houses that he's supposed to look after, and it's his function, his instruction to make sure that every household brings the garbage to the garbage bank, and then the lorry comes and takes it. What happens in the ghettos, there are some places where the lorries can't go, but there are people who live there. If we worked on that system, we don't need foreign intervention on that, and we don't need the government to put in a lot of money. No loans or grants. It is a simple thing. Everyone would like to have garbage taken away from their houses. That is one. 2, the toilets. There are only 7 toilets in Kampala, but Kampala has 2 million people moving every day. It has 5 million people from Wakiso and Kampala, but 7 toilets, and the distance from the toilets, the public toilets, from City Square, you go until Chitigumu House to get the toilet. So if you have diarrhea, it's a big problem. Now, if we say we put toilets everywhere, and City Council has land that is just wasted, we build a good house, double-storied house. Under is the toilet, up is someone who rents it. Now the money got from that house on top of the toilet is the one that cleans this toilet. They say public toilets house about 500 people a day. The same toilets that are used in Javas or KFC take about 500 people, but you can never see them stink because it's a business. Now, what happens if we make the double-storied toilet, public toilet, and the person renting the toilet upstairs, his work is to make sure that he cleans this toilet so that the customers go to his business. Kampala toilets will be the cleanest. That is one. We need teachers. People come from the village and they don't have to sit on the
on using these modern toilets.
Yes, they stand on top. That's why they keep them dirty. We get people who teach them. That is one. Two, in Kampala, we have about 22% disabled people in Kampala.
Of the people who live in Kampala?
Yes, 22% people are disabled. But there's not a single...
For every 100 people, 22 are disabled?
Yes, sir. For every 10 minutes, there's a border accident. Now, the disabled people who are moving with the crutches, people who are moving with
wheelchairs,
with chairs, there's no chance for them to go to any public toilet in Kampala today.
We don't have that provision?
No, you try, you go with your cameras and check.
So where do they go? What happens to them?
Trouble.
Yeah,
now, once you go to the toilets, just imagine any public toilet that you know in Kampala.
That is flooded and
too much water there. Now, supposing I'm coming with a wheelchair, the tires, I'm touching the dirt. So I will not come to Kampala if I'm disabled.
Yeah, those who crawl, actually.
That is one. For the crutches, if there is water, they will go on the side.
And slide away.
That means we have to look at people who are disabled in the toilet business. Two, there is not single taxi that takes disabled people. If there is any, please, you tell me. But in countries like Rwanda, that grew yesterday, they have taxis for the disabled people. Because if you create 5 taxis, a person who is disabled knows the time they have to move. Actually, when people are disabled, when they get or when they're born disabled, they are more clever than people who are all okay. Because there's a way they manage their lives. That is one. Two, no one has ever thought of having five trucks like division vans that help these people to get to Kampala. No one has ever done a vocational training school for any division where people who are disabled can do something, because they also have to get employed. If you skill them to do handmade bags, sewing machines, I mean, we have a big percentage of disabled people that need to be helped. The youth. In Kampala, the youth don't have jobs. Now, to have Kampala...
And that's a very big problem.
Yes, but it's a very simple problem.
Big and simple.
Let us create 5 vocational schools in the 5 divisions. So many people...
One in every division?
Yes. Because every division has a different number of youth with different needs. Just imagine I have a group of youth in Kawempe, where there's a lot of drainage and everything, and we create a pavers workshop. Making pavers. There's a lot of silt, sand, clay in Kawempe. That is why it's an area. The Tugamba, we are going to create a pavers project. Now, a pavers project, everywhere in Kampala, there's a project that is helping to pave all the roads. I don't know if you have started seeing the paving project. Now, those pavers are made by rich people. But why don't we just get all these youth in the 5 divisions?
To do the pavers?
Yes, because the paver does not have to be made in China. A paver is made in Kampala. And you say the youth don't have jobs. Why is it that the jobs are given to those big companies that make the pavers? We can give skills to these people in the divisions to make the pavers. That is one. Two, on record, I discovered that it is most women who are working in the markets, like the stalls. No one has ever thought of ideas where they create small CBOs, like in the markets, to capitate them. If you give a mother money, you're giving the kid. If you give a mother money, you're giving the father. Now, if they have enough capital to buy the matoke, to buy the beans, to buy the produce like the people bring to Kampala, the markets would be full and the people will buy, because in Kampala people don't have gardens. All they do is to purchase. They purchase food. Now, only markets would make people have something. Joblessness. Now, drainage. You talked about getting worried before you leave TV, and you're like, where am I going to pass to go to Entebbe? Now, if you're passing in Nyanama side, there's that road from Nyanama to Entebbe Road. When it floods, there's a swamp. The road becomes a river. Now, desilting is cheaper than making any building. To just get tractors and desilt the drainage system of Navisasiro, Narukolongo, Kalidubi. It is very simple. But because of greed and corruption, our people, instead of doing all this, they wait until the channel floods and people are dead. That's why they come to do a little bit of twitching here and there. But drainage, toilet system, garbage are things that we can do without any foreign help. When we talk about education, most people don't know where to get a job. I want to create what they call the job center. Small office.
You want to do that in Kampala as the mayor?
In Kampala as the mayor. And in the 5 divisions, we create what they call a job center. A job center is where you go, small office, and you say, Bana Sina Chakola. Naiga Kanika.
Here is my CV.
Yes, this is my CV. But just tell me one place in Kampala where people take their CVs.
No, they only take CVs when they've advertised for jobs,
yes,
when the jobs are up for.
But supposing you're a youth living in ghetto, in Kasokoso, you have never bought one paper of Bukedi, only vision.
To read the
How do you know that there's a job? But it's very easy to know a practical place where people go to ask for a job. Where I advertise and say, Tugenda Kola Lugudo, Rema Sanaf.
Well, they will ask you, are these the problems of Kampalans? Are these the problems that pain the people of Kampala?
Yes, they don't have jobs. And they don't know where to ask. Because now Kampala right now is technical know-who. Ask me, or I'll ask you a question. How many people have you ever seen applying for the job of sweeping Kampala?
Do they apply?
Yes.
I didn't know.
But that's why I told you it is about technical know-who.
I didn't know that they apply for that job.
They apply for that. It's a job.
Yes, I know it's a job.
Yes,
but I didn't know where they applied, where they do the applications from.
Because there's no job center. If we created the job center in Nakawa, and I get your CV, and you live in Machinde, you'll not get a job in Nakawa. That is why the Kampala is not clean. Someone lives in Kawempe, he wants to come and clean Najana Nkumbi. So he does not know the road. He needs transport to come and clean. But I just say, every division should have a job center. Buliagalo okwere Machinde, anokubera ni ID ngesomabera Machinde. That means
because you can't move from Makinde to go and clean Kawempe.
It will be expensive, the transport and the time. That is why in KCCA today, the people clean at 2 o'clock in the night. So they can't even see what they're cleaning.
No, I think that cleaning is intended to make sure that we wake up in the morning and the city is clean. No. Because we will fill it with traffic jam and all this congestion. So they want to clean
in the Kampala,
ahead of time.
In the Kampala that I know, those people come from one division and they go to every division. That's why they're moving on a lorry. People would not be moving on a lorry to clean. People would be just getting out of their house to clean their zonal meters that they have given them. That is one.
No, that's Burunjiwansi of sorts. That's not a job.
No.
You talk about KCC employing.
Yes, I'm talking about countries where I've been and I've seen. London has what they call boroughs. Now, every borough, like Elfin and Castle, if you're going to Leicester, if you're going to Mile End, Bow, Stratford, Upton Lane, you are given a zone where you're going to clean. So when you wake up in the morning, many Ugandans are doing that job in London, by the way. When you wake up...
They are cleaning the roads of Makinde, yes, in London.
In London. Now when they wake up, they have their zone to clean. But that's where they stay. So even if that road is made dirty during the day, your work is to make sure that road is clean. Now, a man who came from Kawempe to clean Najana Nkumbi, he has left at around 10 to go back to sleep. and the road is made dirty. He has to wait for the whole day. That's why you find a dead dog on the road.
Exactly. And every car passes on it,
Yes.
it just
Now I want to create what they call a rapid response system in Kampala. Emergency garbage.
Where will you get the money to do all these things? Because
you don't need money.
All the things need money. All the things need resources.
Do you know Uganda loses a lot of money on useless payouts? The people that are cleaning are paid. But I've told you they come from Kawempe,
one division
to Ruwaga,
and they move the
That means they're paying transport. Transport is a cost.
So we lose money for fuel and all these things.
Yes. Why don't you just get the people, the natives that live in that area, to clean that area? That is why it is biased. If you put them in a line, you could find that they come from one family. You could, yes, the cleaners. You could find that they come from one tribe. You could find that they come from one religion.
Or even one clan.
Yes, but we're saying Kampala for everyone. Are you getting my point? Now, if we do division of labor, everyone will get a job. Everyone will get a job. Now, we talk about the rapid response road maintenance. Road maintenance has made Kampala lose a lot of money. Look at the road from Munyonyo, Salama Road. They started breaking in small parts like they're going to repair.
Don't talk about that road because I live in Munyonyo.
No, but I'm trying to say
that that's it hurts me.
They keep breaking small parts until the whole road is gone. Now, when the whole road is gone, someone is going to get the tender to do the road.
I drive for about 40 minutes from here to Entebbe.
Yes.
But if I'm driving from here to my home in Salama,
yes,
I drive for the same amount of time.
Now, I think you see, time is money. When we have a bad road, we are losing money on fuel. We're losing money on spare parts.
We are wearing out cars.
Yes, because there's the spare parts. Now, what happens is, when I talk about rapid response system, there's a Katuli that came on the road, on Entebbe Road. Someone comes straight. We have a system of jet patching. Jet patching, the car will stay, the car will use pressure, and the hole is filled in 1 minute.
Do you have those in Kampala, or you want to procure those? You want to come with
those?
They
came long time, but they wanted to fail them because.
Are they here?
Yes, sir.
Are they working? No, sir.
They don't give them a job, sir. Because you see, because of corruption and bad intention and no patriotism, what people are doing is they want to create someone who is going to do the road, to resurface the road, than someone who is going to patch.
Maintenance.
Yes, and you know, maintenance in Uganda is. One of those traps that KCCA loses money because those potholes don't come overnight. They come slowly. And we have like 2 seasons of rain. Now, the coldness, the water makes them become soft and they take up the whole road. Now, if we could have a rapid response system, the road will be okay. You have seen Salama Road, how it is. To get to Munyonyo is a problem. Now, feeder roads, we could have no dust on the road. The road from my house is Yataka, but going to a very clean
compound.
Clean road.
A clean road, rather.
Now, what we'll do is either pave or use stones. You see, I've seen this in Burundi, I've seen it in Rwanda. It is very rare to find dust in Kigali because what they have done, all the feeder roads, they have either put stones or pavers. And the city looks clean. Now you see, when you reduce that dust makes us poor and people don't look at it. Every time Jagena leaves his house, when you're driving from Entebbe, there's no dust. You get the dust from Munyonyo after the roundabout of the bypass. Now your car becomes dirty and you get to UBC, they wash it for 20,000 every day. Now 30 days times 20,
600,000.
600,000. That's on the car only. Then you go on the same road. You're driving a Mercedes. You lose your 2 shocks for 1.5. So 1.5 times 2,
3 million.
3 million plus 600.
3.6.
Only on the car. You have not yet eaten food. So poverty in Uganda or in Kampala comes because of a few leadership errors that people have done in Kampala. If you look at the traffic
mess in Kampala,
My plan is to talk to the architects, to talk to the planners of the city, and we remove all roundabouts. Roundabouts in actual sense mean you are moving round and about, just like this table. You are moving round and you are about. So in grown cities like New York, you do not find a word called roundabout. They are flyovers. So if people are coming from Mukwano, going to Entebbe, they don't need to wait for the person coming from Kampala Road or Entebbe Road. You just go fly over and go straight, like your route is going straight. Now, where you see roundabout is where you have seen the Katogo. Mulago roundabout. Someone is going to Pastor Kakandi's church, another one is heading to Mulago Hospital. No one knows the right of way. No one. That's why there's a lot of what they call road rage on the road. People are shouting to each other, "Go over, because no one knows Anya Soka one." And that insult already ita patriotism. That insult already ita time. Kwateli akuvuma nga tasibye. Omuntu agenda okuyomba nga asibye gwe ovuga biki. So those are simple things that make us lose time. Traffic. Now, we could talk about organization.
Are you speaking these things to your voters in Kampala?
Yes, I tell them.
Are they understanding these things?
Yes.
Aren't you looking proud? Because, you know, some Kampalans are Twako and that talk is they even wonder.
But
are you going
to... I've told you the Nachivo channel, the Navisaru channel, Navisasulu channel, Narukolongo channel is being blocked not by people. It is blocked by food waste. It is blocked by plastics. But for me, I want to make sure that we don't get foreign investors. Our kids, the youth that are saying Tebalina milimo mu ghetto, ababere rusaze e Kosovo, buli nkuba leto nya bo bajemo bu plastic mu mazzi.
Because we have a population that eats maize in a car and they throw the garbage on or they just dash it on the road and they go.
In America, it is $500 fine.
Nobody cares here in Kampala.
No, but
on the middle of the road.
But you see, when you bring reality, did you know that before there was a scratch card for mobile money, for airtime? Now, how many times have you seen a scratch card?
No, it's faded out.
You fade out ideology. The idea that people don't have, the unpatriotic move that people do, you can change it by telling them, Yagali and see you. If you go to Kigali, my dad told me, Wotegomba, Toja kuterera. When you say good kaje gombe osolo jigula. So, if you go to Kigali, Bajizimi yesterday, you cannot find a person throwing a sugar cane in Galia. Era wakasukira sugar cane bwati. Omuntu munansi simu police ya mukwata. Nagamba have arrested this man is eating chikajo and is throwing in the road. Now, that is how we love our country. There are some roads. Really, if you go to Munyonyo, okay, I'll give you an example. Our Sudiru now no gain a maso. The houses are clean. The people Boba Galavalim clean environment. Never in some areas where people need to be taught. Common sense is not very common, but we just need to tell people, don't Mama Gundi, ebisasiro ya denga bya bei katunonyo tu.
What ebisasiro ya bei?
Antomanye bayinza okucharging emitwalo 3 okutwalako ebisasiro. Nenga n'emitwalo 3 gyokulya togirina. Atokimanyi because garbage, even the poor people have garbage. Actually, poor people have more garbage than the rich people because a poor man will buy kasoli with the stem and the rich man will buy kasoli without a stem. Kati wana amala garbage oyo alino kunonya jamuteeka kubanga garbage is more expensive than the food they have eaten.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, is the problems of Kampala are simplified. I outlined, if you remove garbage and do the drainage and work on the traffic, people are going to be rich.
traffic is still a problem.
Yes.
We talk about traffic with cars or traffic of cars, and we're also talking about traffic of border borders.
Everything.
Where border borders may not understand you if you're actually trying to tell them you are causing traffic jam in the city. Now we have border borders who do not know anything about road usage in the city. They ride on pavements, they ride on anything, they do not know where to overtake from, or they ride on shoulders. It doesn't concern them. And they feel they actually have a right.
Yes.
They do not respect traffic lights, they do not respect traffic signs, they do not respect anything.
Okay. Now there's something very simple for a sensible mind. If we say we are going to change the system of Kampala for better, we create what they call the Kampala Transport Police. Not traffic police. Because by law, if you arrest me and you're called a traffic policeman, and I have not done a traffic offense, I may win the case. So once you create what they call a traffic police, we create traffic clinics. There has never been one where they ask border borders of Najana, of Rubaga, come, they are going to teach you about how you acquire a driving permit, a riding permit. It has never been there. These people ride on the pavement because they are running away from people who want to cheat them. Any policeman in any police uniform just arrest him. But let us have a controlled system. When you know that ayambala blue, imo police ankwata, ngankoze offense ya border,
traffic offense.
A border baja chitegera nti tulina okukola obulungi. That is why a doctor is a doctor. Yadenga doctor tayinza kukola mirimu gya dentist. Now, because of corruption in Kampala, you have seen that we just had a meeting with the assistant ED, deputy ED of Kampala, and the traffic boss, Mr. Norman Masinga, to release the motorcycles that had petty crimes. Now, these motorcycles become many at the police stations because these boys, they don't have cards for the bikes. They're paying slowly. Now, once the bike has created the traffic offense, to get back the bike, he has to bring the original card. But no one can give you an original card when you have not fully
when the bike is on loan. Yes, exactly.
So
because they ride on loan.
What they do, then he goes to get another loan. So
from another circle, from
another group.
Another group somewhere.
Yes. Now, that is the problem in Kampala. People don't understand how the borders work. That is one. Two, border is the simplest business a person can do. When you come from the village and you buy a border, the next thing, customer ntwala. Are you getting my point? They don't know if you have come from Kamwenge, they don't know if you have come from Ugulu, they don't know if you have come from Masaka. They just want to sit on a border to go. So, if we create good stages, because these boys, they like the stage to be there. And then we create clinics to teach them how to acquire a riding permit, which teach them the road safety rules. Nti wano wechaka green ngogenda. Wano wechaka temanna bayigiriza. Ate tokwata gotoyigiriza. That is one. Two, tubayigirize nti bw'ogenda mu kitaala nga kyase red emmotoka eyinza okukutomera n'ofa. Most accidents have been in junctions whereby a light is green and they have stopped him for him, So at the end of the day, that is one. Two, the buli division tujiwe color jeyambala.
The border riders.
Yes, in Kenya, nakola research. Kenya wechiri, Tanzania wechiri, Rwanda wechiri, Uganda si wechiri. Nti border ababeera emachindi bambale kala yaabwe.
They should be identified. And people should know that this border is from Makindi.
Then they should have a number that is known. That is known.
There's a lot of politics of borders here, because when you try that with safe border, with sanctuary borders, with all these things.
That is mindset. And now once you talk about safe border and Uber or Taxify is someone's business. So that is good for that person who is doing their business. But now, what could be good for Kampala is if KCCA says, buli taxi verena akalaini, lwaki baba bikola. Buli taxi mara kubeera mu nakalaini, yabateekako kyotera. So we know eyogenawa kyotera bosanga taxi eyekyotera nga eri ku route ye Luzira omanya either they are taking a sick person or they are thieves or they have taken a wrong route. Now when you meet a boda from Kamwenge, as soon as he enters Busega yafuuse wa boda wa Kampala nga amateeka n'enguudo za Kampala tazimanyi. So agenda nayita mu one way ne bamukwata one way bambi yavudde mu kyalo tabimanyi. So at the end of the day, sensitization, let us not blame. Let's keep away the blame game. You sensitize, you register them. Now they don't know how many borders are in Kampala.
Hold it here, Mr. Kaziwa. Time has run out. I want you to use the next 2 minutes to actually ask for the vote from these people. You've given them what you want to do for Kampala, and this is a Kampala that you're actually seeing.
Yes.
So it is up to the people of Kampala to decide that should they make you the mayor of Kampala. These are the things they're going to see. Ask for that vote in 1 minute. In
1 minute, I would like to say, Kampalans, people in Kampala, please vote Daniel Kaziberagadi. Come 20th January 2021, I want to be the Lord Mayor of Kampala for service. No politicization, for service, no segregation, no tribalism. No, I want to work for the people of Kampala. I want to give you service. I want to help this bleeding Kampala. I want to help the crying Kampala. I want to help the youth that don't have jobs. I want to help the mothers that are working in markets. I want to help the fathers, the elderly, the disabled people. Give me a chance. I'll be the best Lord Mayor of Kampala. And then come 14th January, please vote Mzee Museveni. Alina bingi byakoze. Ate bingi byasobola okwongerezaako okumalayo olugendo lwe nga plan ye bw'ebadde. Nga 14 sigaza obunaku butono nnyo nga 14 omusajja w'ekikoofiira muteekeko katiiki. Buli omu alonde kyayagala mbasaba mulonde na mirembe nga 2 nkiddamu nga 2. Don't forget to vote Ragadi. Bafulaga bera bonna ba NRM balonde kuba bannaye twagala tuweereze Kampala mu ngeri ennungi. Kampala kibuga kirungi. Kampala efesi ya Uganda. Kampala yevaako obwavu n'obugagga bw'ensi yaffe. Twagala tubeere nga tukola bulungi emirimu, tukole enguudo, ebisasiro tubikuŋŋaanye, emyala tugitereeze, drainage system etereere, traffic tumukendeeze, buli munna Kampala yagalire mu Kampala ennungi.
Thank you so much, Daniel Kaziberagadi. And this is also now to you, the voters out there. Go and vote on that day and vote for only the person whom you want to support or love. When you vote for Daniel Kaziberagadi, don't cross out Elias Lukwago, don't cross out Chameleon, don't cross out any other person. If you vote for any other person who is not Ragadi, vote for that person and don't cross out Ragadi. Because at the end of the day, none of them will actually get that vote. You shall have wasted time and you shall have missed the opportunity. So just go and tick only the person you want to tick, or put your thumbprint on only the person whom you're actually voting for. Do the same on the 14th. And of course, like we say, it's by default. If you do not go to vote the person that you want, you by default vote for the person whom you do not like. So go and vote that person because your vote counts. And finally, don't say my candidate has already gone through because I think he has support or she has support. You are one of those many, or you are one of those few. So just go and do your civic duty as a Ugandan, vote and leave the rest to the returning officers. And vote in peace, because they're in Uganda after the 14th and after the 20th. And after all the election periods, we need to be here again in 2026 and 2031 and 2036 and so on and so forth. My name is Yagan Asemakola Ziksoka. Stay blessed and good morning. Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Uganda Decides 2021.